Call the Town Building Committee meeting to order for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. First up on the agenda, WT Rich updates.
I don't know if were any of you on the walkthrough earlier today?
Yes.
I wasn't.
You were, okay.
I'm going tomorrow.
You've seen the, okay, yeah, this is another one tomorrow. So you'll see the site really coming together, especially on the exterior, just driving in. We got final pavement down at the public safety area, and that's getting line striped. Some of it's complete, and we're starting to finish that up now. So all the landscaping for this year is about wrapped up. We're pretty much past that point. So small scope left on site, more where the trailer is and where some of those grading changes are going to happen. So inside the building, the apparatus bay, we actually just kicked on the radiant heat in there today. So that was exciting to see that operate. A lot behind that. Pretty much all the overhead's done. We get the final few garage doors going in, and getting the motors mounted and powered up. Rest of the building, second floor, we're into final cleaning. You know, we've done the finishes, the millwork, carpet, all flooring. So final touches and completion lists going throughout that building. We're just behind that on the first floor. Millwork, some flooring, and final painting and finishes ongoing. Town hall, second floor is ahead. We're in there with finishes and millwork and flooring, same type of thing. Lighting going in. First floor is just behind that, but same type of thing. Millwork, finishes, flooring, and painting. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Any major questions?
Everything work out with the stairway and?
Yeah, stairways, the stair A is in, and we got it in a few days ahead of when we originally anticipated. So we were able to get the treads measured and all the millwork measured quickly after that. So just waiting for some of those finishes to get fabricated right now. So it's really the big schedule update. Financially, we're still in good shape with contingency and allowances, as you can see. We have been using, obviously utilizing those allowances to our best advantage here recently. So you'll see those, contingency draws and allowance draws. Brian will present in the owner change order 12 today. So anyway, we're in good shape with those allowances, and just the next page is just the OCO 12, which you'll see today for 92,771. But yeah, getting down to the end and
Stretch, they say.
home stretch. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions for WT Rich? Lots of
Some
notes.
updates and things like that from, again, what is this? This is, that Brian had sent out was the complex update from schedule update 15 through October, or through November 1st.
Yep.
Like
Correct.
the conclusions and things there have mostly been resolved at this point, so.
Yeah, I think we're showing 4 days behind on that and going through that stair A and the lobby of Town Hall right now. But the hope is to, catch back up and get to zero. So
4 days behind, that's not that bad.
that's not bad.
No.
No, it's not. It's just,
When we were talking about months, this is
Yeah,
much better.
yeah.
We like that.
yes.
But other activities still going next year in terms of like the gas line and the melt generator and all those kinds of things that are spilling into later next year for.
Yeah, there definitely will be. We got what we could of the gas line in. We still have the tie-ins that'll have to be done to the utilities, to National Grid side, and to the melt side. Assuming the generator shows up in May of next year. The pad for the generator, we're still working through some pricing and some exercises there, some permitting with the pad that the inspector's looking for. So hoping to be able to do that pad this year, assuming that we get all the approvals we need. Yeah.
And it's a little, I mean, for a 2-foot thick slab, that might not be the best call.
I mean,
You're not putting a blanket on that and keeping
Yeah,
it warm.
yeah, I mean,
It's super,
yeah,
it's a huge slab.
I agree. I mean, it'll be a
It
team
does
call.
generate a lot of its own
It
heat.
does.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, no, understood.
I mean, if it made sense to get a ground heater or something like that, depending on how much we want to push it. It's not, I don't see it as a urgency. It could be done in May.
Yeah, we just got the shop drawings for the rebar today.
Yeah.
Saw that.
The costs were like almost there.
We're
like,
almost
I
there
think
on the
it's
cost.
one or two minor things that were just so we're all very, very close.
And then the
so we
permit
can
will
pull
be
the
the
trigger
next.
on that. So we're literally days away from releasing them. A few days.
Right.
Friday.
We will need a permit though. But that, we
Yeah.
still have to submit the permit and get an actual permit before we can touch anything over there, so. But then odd landscaping and anything to do with PR 96, which is the grading changes. So, that's really from an exterior standpoint, it's about it. And there's really nothing on the interior that we expect not to have done.
In terms of the gas line, so like, I'm trying to remember from like last month or before, was there trenching needed like across the actual
Through the-
access road?
Through the drive, yeah, through the parking lot.
That
of
all
public safety.
happened, or, so we don't have to go
Yes.
tear things up
It's
later?
final paved, so yeah, we in the nick of time, we got under there and did what we had to do. Got all our inspections.
Yeah, so we just gotta do the tie-in actually in the roadway, that's what.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, that was
I
the
just
critical
wanted to-
path, was just get it out of the roadway. We can, now we're out of that, now we're in the grass essentially. So,
Anything else? All right, seeing head shaking no. Let's go to PCA 360.
All right. We sent out our monthly report last week, so you'll see that. I'll go through it in detail now. As Matt said, project schedule I don't have to repeat, but we're back to where we said originally, so that's always great news to tell. And then Matt's schedule update, which you were just referencing. We're critical path still stair A, but right now it looks like mid-January for completing that, and then inspections follow after. So it's going to be tight, but right now everything's looking like it's working for us. In the Matt's schedule update that he sent us, that I sent out, these are some of the high-level things that we're tracking that could potentially impact schedule. We have pricing requests from the design team, ASIs. They still continue to come in. So far, nothing has resulted in schedule impacts, so we're able to absorb all of that, which is fine. The stairs, I mentioned, that's critical path. Town green grading, last meeting we mentioned there was a bunch of items that are going to have to be pushed to the spring. So that the town green, the foundation for the pavilion now looks like it might get pushed if the weather turns on us, the gas line and so forth. We have an abandoned water line from the old farm that was discovered during the sidewalk work. We just got approval to release that, so we're working on getting it scheduled and working with our traffic engineer to amend our permit. So we're hoping that we can pull that off in the next couple of weeks. Prefer to do it now than let it lag until next spring. And then, on owner-provided utilities, I just had a very quick conversation with the chief and the captain about the fire alarm master box connection. So we have a plan, so that should be fine. Phone lines, we just got an update today. We need 2 phone lines from Comcast, and we heard that Comcast will be, they got their permit approved, and the pulling of their wires will be mid-December. We should have active phones from them by the end of December. So just in time for us to do our elevator inspections. So everything's starting to come together, which is great. And then data for the campus, the cable was run, and now the final equipment is going in. For the fiber itself, and then the switches have been programmed, and I just got an email yesterday about scheduling the company to come out and start installing the network switches. So that's another fantastic thing to hear. So all good news on a lot of fronts.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That's good news.
Quick overview, some of the pictures. You can see the town green. In this particular day, this is 2 days ago, they were doing the paving of the sidewalks, and then out in front of public safety building, so that was going on. And then, as Matt said, behind the public safety, the apparatus apron is all finished paved around the building and all the security areas. Got a nice finished pave on it. They've already done the shimming around the access drive. The paint striping is in so that the temporary condition is good to go. Did they get the striping on 114 today? I didn't even notice. I drove right past
They
it.
were grinding the old ones. I think
Yeah.
they did some of it. I don't think they finished it.
They didn't finish. So yeah, today and tomorrow, I think Friday, they might
Friday
have
might
better
be-
temperature.
Yeah.
Friday we get the temp, but I think you're
Yeah.
getting rain.
They'd done a
Okay.
turning lane and they did the block, they did the box for the apron. What else were you waiting for?
Yeah, I saw some cones. I honestly, I was
All the cones were out of
focused
the
on getting
road.
here. I didn't even pay attention to see what they did today.
But there was a question?
No, I was just saying, what
Oh.
else were you waiting for? Because they, obviously, all the cones are out of the road, so there's a turning lane that would go into the fire department.
Correct.
Coming
Yeah.
north, and the
Correct.
box is all painted for that.
Yeah, it's all it's all temporary permanent striping. Because
It's the temporary permanent.
yes, because we won't be milling and overlaying this year due to the gas line,
Yeah.
essentially.
So it's paint instead of thermoplastic.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, so the place is looking fantastic. Here's a more, instead of the webcam view down low, you can see that a detention basin at the front. The landscaping is, the leaves have fallen off, but everything's in.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. And then interiors, as Matt was saying, that on the public safety up second floor, they're finished cleaned. They got the temporary protection on the ground, on the carpet, and they're working through their work to complete list. Soon we'll be ready for punch on these spaces, so we're getting really close. And then, the first floor of public safety is just lagging a little bit further behind, not too far, but they're working on the millwork. This is the main training room on the lower level of the public safety building. The millwork is being worked on in the lobby as well. Outside of the town hall building, they've now got the trash barrels, the benches, the tables are all in, so it's really, look, all the little doodads are in now. It's looking really good. Even we can play checkers. The table has the checkers on it, so we can.
Well, that sounds good.
So it looks pretty
Maybe
good.
tomorrow. Who wants to lose?
Yeah. This is the hearing room for the at the town hall on the second floor. You can see that the millwork's underway. The room's really shaping up. The ceiling's been whited out. Lights are on. Budget update, not much to report since last month. Really no changes under administration, no changes to the architect. I think I have a duplicate here, but on the A&E, nothing's changed. And then, here we go. And other project costs, our furniture, we're about to pull the trigger on ordering the furniture, and we'll have a final cost. Next month, I'll be able to report that in the budget, so that's coming up very soon. So right now, we have, 1.6 million that's still sort of pending, so we're going to start drawing down off of that. So you're going to see that in the next couple of months. And then, contingencies overall, Matt reported on what he has available in his budget, which is about $3 million, and I've got about $3.5 million that is still uncommitted. So we're still tracking pretty well overall in the budget.
Like those numbers?
Cash flow, things are starting on their way down now. Our monthly draws are, as predicted, falling off, which is great. And, we continually to, show at the end of the project, unused funds is, that's that bar that keeps increasing. So that's good. We have 2 items for you tonight for costs that we're going to be presenting. We have the LW bills. We had presented this to you 2 meetings ago, and we were kind of not sure how we were going to move forward on the procurement. We worked with town council and the fire department, and we now have a plan, a path forward. So we're able to move that scope forward. So we are going to move forward with LW bills for the $148,113 So, last time I told you that we had to work through some of the procurement. We have it solved now, so we can proceed with LW bills. So I don't think you ever voted for us to proceed with the award of this.
I believe we did.
So I think we should get a vote on this particular one so we can move forward.
Okay, folks, I got a motion.
Bill, I'd like to make a motion to approve the LW Bill Street Fire Alarm Circuit Migration cost, additional cost for $148,113.19.
Can I get a second? Second from Kyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Great, thanks. The next I have is building testing. We do have a commissioning agent, a building enclosure commissioning agent, but they do exclude two services that we really need to perform, and that's the IR scan of the roof and blower door testing of the two buildings. So we went out and we got two price proposals for the scope of work. One, through our building enclosure, they have a sub-consultant that they use, so they provided us pricing. And then we had IR analyzers we've worked with before to do that and got a price from them. The company that we've been using for all the building testing, UTS, does not perform either of these. So we did go to them and ask for a quote, but they don't offer this service. So we have two to propose to show you tonight. In IR analyzers for the two scopes is $16,550, and RJ Kenny is $18,400. So I have worked with IR analyzers before for roof scan, and they do a great job, very professional. I've not used them for blower door, and so although overall their price is lower, talking with Alex Liu, our on-site clerk, who got these prices, he and I are both, our gut is telling us that the low guy might not be the best for the project. The blower door test especially, because it's pretty technical. Nick, did you want to chime in?
To go back to the air leakage testing, looking at the cost differences between IR and RJ Kenny, we're talking difference between $4,600 and $7,850. What are we getting with RJ Kenny that we weren't getting with IR? Like why is that?
Well, RJ Kenny uses a company that this is all they do, and they've been doing it for a long time. IR Analyzers really just does roof IR scan, and recently they decided that they can also do blower door. So they really don't. We don't have any references. We couldn't get all that comfortable with their experience, so I'm a little hesitant to recommend them. I feel like some of these companies are like, yeah, we can do that too. And it's like, well, are you really set up for it? And so the benefit to the town and the project is RJ Kenny is our building enclosure consultant. If they're managing and overseeing their consultant to run this test, they're going to have better control over it. And I'm a little worried that IR analyzers might not fully understand our buildings and might have given us too low of a number. RJ Kenny's been with the building from the very beginning, when the foundations went in. They know this building, both buildings inside and out. I think they've got it right. I kind of feel like IR analyzers might have missed the mark on their proposal. I think it's too low. I honestly think it's too low, and I don't think they have enough experience. So I'm actually going to recommend to you that we go with RJ Kenny. I know it's a little bit more, but I think that's money well spent.
It's $1,900. I don't see that being a huge
Yeah.
deal if that's your recommendation.
So based on experience and sort of the efficiency of using the one consultant, I think it's worth it to the town. I really do.
Especially if we can't get references, that's
Yeah, we asked, they didn't get back to us in time for this meeting, so, yeah.
So Brian, you're looking for us to vote or make a decision?
Yeah, I would like to recommend RJ Kenny be awarded the scopes of the roof IR scan and the blower door test for $18,400.
Bill, I'd like to make a motion to approve RJ Kenny in the cost of $18,400 to perform the air leakage testing in addition to the blower door testing.
Second.
second from Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Jokes.
Thank you very much.
Brian, that just made sense.
It really, yeah, my gut and intuition's telling me it's the right call for the project. It's short money, and just don't want to be short-sighted. Just we won't get into this too much. Potential change order, this is current as of 2 days ago. And just to, sort of things that are on the horizon, so potential change orders to the owner, about 401,000, but there's a big one in there, which is the, pound green grading. So, I have a plug number there. Matt's working on getting firm pricing. So that accounts for a lot of what I think might be coming on the horizon for owner changes. Under allowances, 17,000, and GMP contingency, which in Matt, about 56,000. Those are the things we're tracking. Yes, the list is long, but they're pretty minor items that we're getting into, sort of fussy, sort of the last coordination things. And, so whatever we're drawing off right now makes a lot of sense for the project to get it right. So that's what we're seeing right now. So just to give you a sense of what's on the horizon, I'm not worried. This is all totally reasonable. We do have change order log, which I'll go through in more detail for you on what we have completed this month. But before I do, construction requisition for payment number 17. This one here, was ready for your approval. It's $3,871,707. So we're recommending that this be approved. So we'll need a vote from the committee for this, and this is a recommendation to approve. They'll go to the select board in their, I think it's December 8th meeting for the warrant. Okay.
Can I get a motion for construction rec 17, unless you have a question for Brian?
I move that we recommend construction requisition for payment number 17 in the amount of $3,871,707 for approval by the select board.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, second by Nick. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, change order 12 this month is for $92,771. It does have quite a few PCOs. I'll go through them in the next screen just to give you an update. Thanks for reorganizing how this shows. I actually like the way it's a little easier to follow now.
It was easier for me too, actually, at the end of the day.
Plus, we can read it.
So the column here is anything that changes the GMP contract, so either up or down. We have a credit and some ads, so it's we can go through them. But Matt has organized this so we can see whether it's a contingency draw or allowance. So I'll just go down. We have, this should be it now on boulder removal, maybe. I don't know, we have the pavilion to put in still. They have a little digging to go, but
Right, but
this was the last of the large boulders. These are the ones that are over 1 cubic yard. They're, massive.
So you guys found where they buried them?
Yeah, where the glacier buried them. Yeah. So we did find a bunch of those. So that's, we had in our contract a figure of what our cost would be if we encountered them for removal. So it's all based on unit pricing. The mock-up, we had been aggregating all the costs all the way through for the mock-up. We had an allowance in the budget for it. We fell well below what we had in the allowance for the mock-up. So that's, we can now close it out because we had the last cost was the demo of the mock-up. So that was included in there. Now we're starting to see some of the premium time. So on Saturdays when we work, we don't, when they're executing contract work, that's on them, that's their pay that they have to do for regular time, but we pay the premium time. So the premium time is that extra for Saturday work, but there's no burden or benefits on that. It's a straight cost, so it's pretty minimal. So we're starting to see those, and we have allowance in the GMP for any of the overtime work, and this is to make sure that we stay on schedule. Right. Matt in his GMP is obligated to maintain the budget and schedule, and so he uses what he has in his budget for allowances to make sure that he stays on track. So that's what we're seeing here. So there's a few of these. I won't get into it too much, but this is Lorenzo, which is our excavator. Overhead door track change. This is what I presented to you. We changed the track for the doors to run more vertically before they roll up in, so we did present that to you. Shower room and locker room, we had some coordination with the lockers and accessibility that resulted in some changes. Some shower modifications, again, pretty minor. These are all using contingency. The apparatus bay, we had a credit. We moved the sprinkler piping from the attic down below to the finish area, but it was so high up, it really wasn't anything that was going to make much of a difference. When you see the apparatus bay, there's a lot in the ceiling, so a bit of piping isn't going to make a difference, so we took the credit. And then flashing at the exterior siding and weather barrier. This is at the low roof on the public safety. We had to make a change to how the flashing was done to maintain a roof warranty. So that was something that is a change order to, it was a change in the design, but it made a lot of sense. The pass-through window and this is the multi-purpose room on the first floor of Town Hall. This is a coordination with the cross brace in the wall. And then we had a pipe that we had to enclose in the public safety kitchen. We had a CMU wall at the Sallyport booking. This was a request by the authority having jurisdiction. Device, these are furniture coordinations. We had some outlet devices in the public safety office area that we modified. And then some modifications to millwork that happened throughout. Now that they started putting some things in, we had to make a few changes. I know, like in the police second floor, there was a computer system for the interview room. The computer was much larger than we thought, so we had to move some of the casework. So this cost here is just making some modifications to make sure everything works well for what's coming. Duct wrap, this was just an allowance draw. This was a coordination item that wasn't included in the HVAC buyout. And then we had some duct work that was put in that ultimately wasn't necessary, so we removed that. Public safety control joints, honestly, I don't even remember what this particular one is. Public safety control joints, why am I drawing a blank on that one?
Exterior caulking, masonry?
Oh, is this
No, it's not the control joints for the caulking, but that actually had more to do with some lighting. Actually, the way it's labeled control, there were a few different changes in there.
Yeah, this one, I don't really remember exactly what this one is. I can look it up.
Yeah, I can look it up.
But then, we added a gutter to the parking canopy at the police canopy to collect water. We were afraid that water dripping off that would freeze on the sidewalk below. So we wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be a safety issue. And then we had, these are the buttons in the booking area. We wanted to recess into the CMU walls. It would have been surface mounted, and we wanted to make it look more finished condition. This allowance draw, this is the detention frames. We didn't buy out this work originally. We had allowance, and then once they went ahead and did it, we were able to draw down off that allowance. We actually much lower than what we had allotted for. And then this is a change to the secure parking area, the gate system. We added a click-to-intergate system for on-call and when other municipalities come, mutual aid, thank you, so that they could get in. So we didn't have to issue access to all these different departments. They could come in using the system. Good question.
Just the tension joint sealants, additional cost. Was that to put like security grade sealant in, or pick-proof stuff?
Pick-proof.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. All right.
Pick-proof is what was, the specifications didn't include that, so when the work was bought out, that was a buyout miss, and that's why it's a contingency draw.
Yep, I'm good.
Yep. And then painted metal shelving, we had an allowance for this. We actually have a pretty good buyout on the metal shelving on the project, so we were able to upgrade the shelving. Instead of having it put together by the millworker, we were able to buy it as a system. And so we saved money, but we ended up getting a better product too. So it's just an allowance draw. And as Matt reported, he has a bunch of allowances in his GMP that there's still money left in there. So we're just drawing off of that. We're doing a good job of saving money in those. And then we had talked the flume. This was a buyout miss. We have 3 tree boxes, and one of them was missed in the buyout. And then we had some revisions to the town hall copy workroom. There are a lot of PCOs this month, but we're working to try and clear that. And then, we have an added smoke detector, site signage, lighting. This is the monument sign at the front coming in. It was on the civil drawings, but it wasn't on the electrical drawings, so it was a buyout miss. Town hall building directory signage, we made an upgrade from the basis of design, so we used a little bit of signage allowance for that. Door frame coordination, this has to do with coordinating with hardware. We have louver change, one louver changed how, on the drawings from what was shown on, that's like a buyout miss, that's why it's a contingency. We had modifications to the, why does it say truss seal? Roof intersect, this is where the parapet wall and the low roof of the booking area met. We had to change the detail of the roofing, so that was a change to the roofer. We modified the detail. And then town hall, multi-purpose room dormers. This is there was just a coordination how those dormers were framed. When the SIPS panels were put in, we had to make a modification to get that dormer to work with the window. So there was a coordination item there. And then masonry remob. This is because we have the interior masonry walls in the apparatus bay. There was so much work that had to go in. There's two double walls, so we had to put a lot of utilities in there. This timing with the mason, they had to remobilize to come back and do some work. Apparatus bay, we had to enclose some pipe chases that to make sure pipes were enclosed. ERV1 relocation. Honestly, this is another one I'm not well versed on, the ERV1.
It's in the fire garage.
Oh, right, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so that was, is that the one that's conflicting with the overhead door?
It was originally in like the outdoor storage space, and we moved it to the fire garage.
Gotcha. Okay. Right, thank you. All right. And then through this is our keying meetings, we made some door hardware revisions. We removed a tack board from the men's locker room, so that's a credit. AVB at the fire garage. Trying to remember, these are all small, like we're catching up.
That was just
A lot of these were T&M, and so what we did is we got better pricing if we went ahead on T&M instead of a lump sum. And so now we're getting all the slips in and sort of reconciling. So some of this work has been done for a while, and we're just catching up
So Brian,
with paperwork.
on the T&M, are they limited to, what are they limited for the percentage of overhead and profit on the T&M?
15%.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So we're definitely making out. All right.
Yeah, no, a lot of them, when, Justin is approving these T&M scopes to move forward, we'll estimate it at $5,000. And like this one, I think that I was just looking at was, like around 3,000. So we are making out much better in a lot of instances to go that way. So that's what a lot of these are right now. And we're using GMP contingency and allowances to pay for them. So let's see, anything I'll pick out. Coffee station wood coiling door, that was a buyout miss. So, we missed the coiling door for there, so that comes out of contingency. Furring out a wall at a standpipe. We had a change in the men's locker room at the public safety building. We had to fur out a wall. This was some fire stopping at the top of CMU walls at the booking area. The temporary pavement markings because we're not finished paving until the spring. This is at the Route 114. And then additional binder mobilization, that's what we talked about to you. You approved us going into the spring. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one is remobilization for JDC. This was sort of a shared cost.
Correct.
For their paver.
Right.
So this was something that was done out of GMP contingency. And then PVC sill at apparatus bay. These are the windows up high in the apparatus bay, changing the material that cases those windows. So I know it's a lot there, but they're all relatively minor things. But this is now the final, getting everything just right as we finish here. Okay. Any questions?
A lot of PCOs.
Okay. Sorry that took a while. So the change order 12, we're asking for an approval tonight for $92,771.
Folks, can I get a motion to approve change order 12.
Bill, make a motion to approve change order 12 in the value of $92,771.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, second from Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Thank you. That's it.
motion carries.
I'm all done.
Cool. All right, context, you guys are up.
Well, let's see what else there left to say. We continue with our site visits, RFIs and submittals. As Brian mentioned before, we're about this close to being done with the bulk of the furniture package. Small conversation tomorrow about some remaining chairs. And then hopefully we'll be on track to getting those finalized, or close to finalized. And yeah, just keeping up with WT Rich and their efforts to get everything wrapped up.
All right. Any questions, folks? I'm seeing none. All right. Next up, we have Town of Middleton updates. So use of grants, earmarks. I'm guessing that's what is on the screen. So it looks like.
It is,
All right.
if I may.
Please.
So these are all of our grants, earmarks, and other funding sources. And we have the starting balance, what we've spent as of 10/16. That was just when I ran the last report, and the remaining balance. So some reminders, we have the CPA funding for the town common. That remains at the 500,000 starting balance because so much of the town common work is still to come. The legislative earmarks for the public safety design, the public safety building at 25,000 and 40,000 have both been fully expended. And I do want to continue to thank our legislative delegation for getting those secured for us. We have the legislative earmark for the town common, another 200,000, again waiting for that town common work in the billing, and a legislative earmark in the amount of 50,000 for the sidewalk work, which we're hoping to pay out soon as that sidewalk work is completed. That is specific to the sidewalk along 114, not within the campus.
Yep.
The Fairway Estates gift, which was provided to the town for the benefit of the Council on Aging when the Blue Haven development was created, 225,000. That has been fully spent. A legislative earmark for the COA building, 25,000, fully spent. An earmark for the food pantry. This is very specific to buying refrigeration. So when we buy the refrigeration for the Middleton food pantry, we will finally expend that 15,000. A legislative earmark for our septic system. We've spent that in full, 125,000. We received the eVIP grant for our e-vehicle chargers. That is 85,527, and we have spent that already, but we will be getting reimbursed once those have been installed on the campus. But that is money out, but not yet back in. The ARPA funds, which were so generously provided by the town, 1.4 million and change. Those have been fully expended. Those had to be expended actually by the end of 2026, but in an effort to spend our ARPA money down so we could stop having to do single audits every year for those funds, we just spent them down so that they also did not get taken away. We have 300,000 from town meeting for the PEG technology, which will be spent out when that is complete, and then another $1 million from the capital article from annual town meeting May 25, and that will be getting spent closer to the end.
So the total cost for the project, when we're seeing, because we had a total for 75 million, I think, right, to all in? Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Right. So are we backing out these revenue streams to the bottom line?
Uh-huh.
We are. So we have a savings of all of that
So
to the project, essentially, when we're looking at
Yes.
the bottom line number.
And Sarah Wood, our finance director, town accountant, and I kind of went back and forth on how to present this data to you because the request was specific to these revenues that we'd received.
Yeah.
We can't show you the debt right now in a way that looks even because we don't have the second borrowing complete yet. So right now,
Yeah, I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking bottom line. So if those are all coming off the top, so out of what we've asked for, we're giving back whatever the grant total is as well, on top of what we have for savings. to the project?
no.
No?
So because some of those grants we knew about and factored into the second borrowing.
You did,
But
okay.
for example, the $1 million at the end, we never factored in because that was later added. So we do factor it in, and so that all of this in total helps reduce that second borrowing, either because we knew we were going to have it and didn't have to add it to what we were asking for, or we got it after the fact and won't need to go get it. So-
I think we're saying the same thing.
We are, it's just the timing of when we knew about the money.
Yeah, that's, so we're basically gonna be borrowing less for the second piece for this total.
And
Well, yeah,
Justin can
and-
speak to that
and
update.
then we also have the savings for the project as well from these folks. So both of those add in, right?
Correct. So I think in the most simple terms, some of the items on this list here, we knew about when we were trying to nail down what the number was we had to go back to the second
Yep.
town meeting for.
Yep.
Some of those came in after the fact.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be as simple as tallying all of these and taking it off the top.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it's a mix somewhere.
Yeah, I couldn't
thereof.
remember how we did it at the time. I'm just trying to remember.
And some of it was like a positive surprise. The PEG money was an additional increase, which we knew, but we didn't know how much. And the $1 million from town meeting this most recent spring was also like another pleasant use of free cash to reduce the borrowing.
So is there any others that were at late, or is those just the two?
That's everything so far. We've tried and attempted to get other legislative earmarks, but we're not eligible for as many grants as we previously were. So we've slowed the process.
Very true. Okay, so about another 1.3 essentially, if I'm just looking at.
And
You
we-
also have MELD too, there you
Yeah,
have an
this-
MOU with them, there's.
I did earmarks and grants. This doesn't factor in the MELD contribution. It doesn't factor in if town meeting agrees to support additional funds from PEG in the spring, because that money's not real until it's real. Like, I don't put it on a balance sheet until it's been approved, so.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just trying to get a kind of a range of what we're gonna be giving back essentially from what we've asked for.
And
Well, borrowing less, but yeah.
Yeah, borrowing less, but I guess,
I think
That
it's
keeps coming up on
no,
social
it's
media.
important
but
that
yeah.
it's borrowing less,
Yeah, we're
not
borrowing less,
giving
not
back.
returning any
well,
money back.
yeah, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it.
It pops up on social media. People say like, "Oh, what are we going to do with that extra $4 million?" Like it doesn't exist.
We're just
not
not
gonna
not
suck
gonna
it on our
borrow.
tax
We're just not
bill.
gonna borrow.
And I think
Exactly.
the plan is right now is that whatever second borrowing we do will be a ban, so that it'll be the worst case scenario, which is far less than the 10 million. And then in about 2 years, we have quite a lot of borrowing coming up with, for example, the Fuller Meadow School roof. There seems to always be a borrowing for fire trucks, things like that. So we'll put it together with a couple of other projects for a long-term bond.
Okay.
So without offering an exact number, and obviously there's still a lot of game to play here, I'd say probably borrowing half of what we ultimately thought we needed,
Okay. Good.
roughly.
I think it's what we called it as contingency at the time, I think. So, good. Love it when a
Don't
plan,
like to jinx things either.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Mm.
All right. Cool. Well, I appreciate this. This is great. Thank you. What else do we have? Anticipated opening date and community open house. You taking this one?
Yep, so we're starting to, as we get closer to completion here, we're starting to float some dates with the expectation of things wrapping up for the most part in January, and then having tech and furniture and anything else happening in February. Softly, we have floated the date of Monday, March 2nd, which it's still pretty early, and there's a long way to go here. Some like furious scribbling going on the table over here, and some panicking. But that's what we'd like to get the staff in on, then open to the public on Tuesday, March the 3rd, which happens to coordinate well with the select board schedule. They would have a meeting that night. We'd love to be able to have that meeting in the new hearing room and use that as an opportunity on the agenda to maybe even have a joint meeting with the building committee, close things off, hand things off, have a small ceremony, blessing the buildings in so many words, with the intent of having a larger kind of community gathering when the weather's nice, sometime over the spring or summer. Still to be determined. So
Hopefully after we pave. And actually, we're fully boxed up.
yeah, and have like grass, any of the remaining grass or anything else established or anything like that. So we're giving thought to that. But once again, keeping our eye on the ball. There's still a lot of work on this side of the table to be done. So we don't want to jinx anything. Yeah.
Great. No, it's good. Good stuff. Folks, any questions for town staff? Jackie or Justin? No?
In terms of that 3/3 date there, would that conclude the town building committee at that point? Or do you think that would just be the ceremonial
We'd like to release you.
But we may need you
Yeah.
for closeout financials.
That's what I was.
There might be like a final cleanup meeting, just to close things out.
Yeah, I would imagine that we have to be there at least for the final payment, right?
Yeah, and I imagine you would want to make a final report to annual town meeting before you concluded your labor.
So that'd be like May, we're thinking?
That would be May
May 12th.
2026. Be there. Mark your
You
calendars.
say May 12th?
Yes.
Is that Tuesday?
Yep.
Always. And then town election the following week at our new municipal campus.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's get to deploy those. Cool. All right, folks. Any other? Oh, we got other topics. We have meeting minutes, 10:15 meeting minutes. Can we make a motion to approve? Everybody got a chance to read it? I guess we got it in time.
Move that we approve the meeting minutes from October 15th as shared by Brian.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Okey dokes. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great news. All right, guys. Anything else before we look to close?
I was saying earlier that I was thinking we have concrete curbs around everything there. Do we need to salt things differently or treat the roads differently or anything else?
I mean, it's precast, so it's cured out.
Okay.
You know?
Wasn't sure. I just
Yeah.
could imagine us going and salting and leaving all that kind of stuff and not washing it away or anything else like that and finding that it's deteriorating.
Yeah, I think crystal ball, we knew everything was gonna come in lower. Well, obviously it would have been granite, but unfortunately, didn't catch that, so. But yeah, I mean, it should work. I mean, they're gonna not last as long. It just doesn't have, that's what happens, so.
We should go budget for curbs at some point in the future.
At some point down the road, yeah.
The granite, yeah.
Chief LaCoste had a question, I think.
Oh, Chief, fire away.
Questions. Update on the, what was the final verdict on the panel discoloration?
The panel,
All the concrete panels, Nick,
The
you said they were
precast.
fine.
I think we were good with that, right?
So, Chief, I went out there, I met with the mason, I met with W.T. Rich. Honestly, at the front of the public safety building, at the main entrance there, I can see how people were concerned originally with that, but over time, they were suggesting putting like a mineral stain, there's a couple different things. Honestly, it's within project tolerances after talking with our team over here. It's not that bad. And then with that normal atmospheric staining, I'm not being truthful, from all the vehicles, whatever, everything's gonna age together. And even today, we're going by it today and looking at it, it doesn't look that bad. Unless you're looking for it, you're not gonna see it, in my opinion. And then to take that stone out, you gotta understand what it would take. All that surrounding construction would have to come out to do that. Since it was within project tolerances, and it's something that the curse is gonna come off over a little bit over time, we were just like, all right, it's acceptable, and I found it acceptable in my professional opinion.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
that was the long version.
Appreciate it. And then, any updates with the milled generator?
I have not heard about the switch, the automatic switching. I have not heard. Yeah, no, we'll work on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I know they're working on it. I just haven't got an update
Yeah.
for you. I'll find out.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Anything else, Chief?
That's it.
All right. All right, folks, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Bill, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Thanks, folks.